talked a little bit about cold and flu season and some things that you guys can do to hopefully avoid being sick. I'm a little under the weather today myself, so I felt like it would be a good time to discuss these things. So give you some actionable steps here, but hope y'all are all having a fantastic week. Like I said, we've got a nice cold streak going here in the DF Dub, and so I felt like this would be an appropriate time to start addressing a topic like this. So when it comes to cold and flu season, man, and again, those of you who are just now watching, I'm a little under the weather myself. I don't use that as an excuse, and I'm going to tie something in about going to the gym or working out when you're sick too here toward the end. But really want to get into a little bit. I put out a post on my business page on Dad Bod Health about cold and flu season, and I wanted to touch on that for you guys because many people take it for granted. And I don't know about you, but quite frankly, I don't have 2 weeks to be laid up in bed and not be able to perform my life duties. And so I wanted to touch on that. So I'm going to start with the flu shot. If you guys are somebody who is against the flu shot, I totally get it. There's a lot of myths in the fact that it can get you sick. Some people will get a little bit under the weather whenever they get the flu shot for a day or two, but to me, it's absolutely worth it so that I'm not laid up for 2 weeks. Now, I'll tell you, every year the flu strains change, and so it's not always a guarantee. But it's one of those kind of I'd rather be safe than sorry. And so the reason I talk about that is because there are a lot of people who are stubborn and won't get the flu shot. And if that's you, I respect that. I'll give you some other things you can do to hopefully avoid getting the flu. But the bottom line is the flu shot it's a smart thing to consider, especially if you work around a lot of people, man. Like I work from home, and so for somebody like me, if I chose not to get it, I would respect that decision, because I'm not out and about and exposed to a lot of people. But if you're someone who works in an office with a lot of people, or you're someone who shops a lot, you're in grocery stores quite often, the malls, outlet centers, wherever, I would highly advise that you get the flu shot. So that'd be number one. But the one thing you can control most, man, and I can't stress this enough, and as practicing as a nurse in my ICU days, I got used to this quite a bit, but you need to wash your hands, man, more frequently. Everywhere where you think that is a common area that you're touching and it's not germs, dude, your phone is one of the nastiest things that exist. Elevator buttons, doorknobs, phone handles, especially in community areas, all those places where everybody's touching nonstop, that's all just germ-infested areas, man. And so you gotta get in a better habit of washing your hands. Keep your hands away from your mouth. Your hands are some of the most disgusting things there are. And so if you're staying on top of the hand washing, you're obviously going to have a lot more protection there. But if you want to carry around the hand sanitizer, it's not a bad idea, man. Like, you're going to touch communal areas that are going to be germ infested. And so if you have that and you're armed and ready, hopefully you can prevent spreading germs to other people, and also getting sick yourself. So another thing I wanted to add is really trying to do your best to avoid large crowded areas. That's where all the germs are flying around. Obviously, if you're going Christmas shopping or something like that with the holidays upon us, you're going to have to be in some of those places, unless you're like me, you use Amazon and you're like, I'm done. Amazon, bam, and I'm no more Christmas shopping for me. But if you're out and about, wash your hands, try to avoid those areas, cover your mouth when you're coughing, and really avoid sick coworkers. These are all, they seem like common sense things to do, but we're all so busy. We get caught up in our daily lives and daily responsibilities. It's often easy to forget about these things. So washing your hands is the big ticket item there if you're not a flu shot person. Another thing I'll add to that is really taking care of yourself. Trying to eat healthy, trying to stay hydrated, getting in your workouts, trying to do the things that you can do to help your immune system stay as strong as possible. Because if your immune system's strong and you're washing your hands, and you got a flu shot, you're doing everything that you can to avoid it. It's not completely avoidable in some cases, but at the end of the day, if you're doing everything you can, you at least have peace of mind that you're at least decreasing your chances on getting the flu. Again, I don't have 2 weeks to be laid up in bed feeling like death for 2 weeks. So I want to help you guys hopefully avoid that same scenario, because I guarantee somebody watching is going to end up getting the flu because they didn't follow some of these things. That's how common it is. So take care of yourself, stay hydrated, eat quality nutrition, get in your workouts. The last thing I wanted to touch on is really, don't buy into the hype of all the vitamins, guys. You don't need 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day. If you're following the things that I tell you to do and you're eating the healthy foods that you should be on a daily basis, you're getting the majority of what your body needs. Your body will only absorb so much vitamin C and zinc that you're just wasting your money. You're going to end up peeing that stuff out anyway, and it's just a waste of time. Eat healthy and all that stuff's covered. So I hope that helped. The last thing I wanted to touch on is working out while you're sick. Don't use that as an excuse. I mean, if you're really sick and you just can't make it to the gym, fine. But like, I'm under the weather today. I think I got a cold, probably from my 3-year-old. I'll be going to the gym. Now, will I push as hard? Probably not. But the bottom line is, and this is what happens. So for somebody like me who's already programmed to always go to the gym, that's already something it's a habit that's formed in my mind. But if you're somebody who's trying to establish a routine or trying to build a routine, I see this often, is that people will start getting into a routine, or they've been in a routine for a month or two. They get sick. They use that as an excuse to stay out of the gym, and now their routine is broken, and they don't go back for several months. And so don't let that become you. If you're sick, if you're really sick, stay home. But if it's a little cold and you feel like it's going to break your routine, go and at least get a walk in on the treadmill. Do something to continue that, because it's all a mental thing. And if you break that mental streak, you're probably not going to go back for a while. So keep that going. Don't let being sick be an excuse for you not to go, especially if it's just a little cold and you're under the weather a little bit like me.